Welcome back to the Difference Engine podcast. I'm your host, Caleb Oakes. Today is about the difference between strays and house pets. And no, I'm not going to give you a sad commercial on how you should foster pets in your house. I do have several that I rescued, but that's not what we're talking about. I just had coffee with a business owner, and he was sharing with me that there's one cat on his block that has lived longer than all the other ones that have disappeared or he doesn't see anymore. But there's one cat that he still feeds, and she does not, after all this time, she does not still let him get close to her. And he's like, yeah, I understand that cat. I know where she's coming from. And it's just something I run across a lot in my line of work as a business coach with clients, is this really sneaky state of hypervigilance. And I've lived through seasons of it myself. I've lived through long seasons of it myself, where just like a stray, you sleep lightly because you're not sure when you're going to have to jump up and run. You constantly threat assess. You're not picky about what you eat or where you eat or when you eat because you don't know when the next is coming. The difficulty with that, and this cat, he has a long distance relationship with, she'll let him feed her but won't come close to him. The bragging rights of that cat is that she has lived this long, and that's great, but it's just surviving. And the sad part is that cat will likely never know what it's like to be held by a person, or to fall asleep on the couch in the sunshine, or to know what it's like to go through a whole winter and it never gets below 65 degrees because she's in a house the whole time. That's really rough when you overlay it to the human psyche and what humans go through. And to be really blunt about it, usually unless I come along and talk to a business owner, nothing shakes them out of that mindset. If they do resolve it in themselves, it's usually a long thawing out of they reach a state in business that is so insulated and so protected that they eventually release the fears. And it usually comes after a long time, and they still sometimes don't all the way get there. And this could also be through like a mental health practitioner or things like that. I'm not the only person in the world that has this skill, but typically people don't seek it out. It's not usually high up on their priority list of things to resolve in themselves, even though it is one of the most detrimental things for business owners. The reason for that is when I work with a business owner, usually the focus is on marketing, or the focus is on branding, or the focus especially is on leads and money. Everyone, by and large, generally wants more money. As I told this guy today, though, I was like, your ultimate goal is to go to Florida for 3 weeks at a time and no one from your company calls you. It's a great goal. But if you went to Florida for 3 weeks right now in your current mind state, you'd be miserable the whole time. And he agreed with it. Because having a state of hypervigilance, constant hypervigilance, means that burnout is your roommate mentally. It's only a matter of time. Like, there's only so many vacations you can go on before you're looped right back to that state of like frazzled, frenzied, checking over your shoulder. You can really tell it when people are just on their phone all the time. Emails, text, bracing for the next thing that's going to hit. I was listening to a guy recently that I like a lot, Chase Hughes. He's a former CIA operative, I believe. He has a lot of interesting takes. And he said this recently. I liked this, that there's 3 attributes of confidence. And the first one he listed is safety. And he said, you can't project confidence. If you feel someone projecting confidence, then it's not real confidence. Confidence can't be projected. It has to be possessed. A sense of personal safety is not something that you can project. It's something you carry. It's a knowingness inside you that everything's going to be okay. So it's not possible to fake confidence. And it's incompatible. It's incompatible with hypervigilance and hyper-awareness and constant threat assessing. That is the opposite. That is a sense of a lack of well-being, a lack of safety, pretty much being convinced that things are going to go wrong at some point. You need to be faster than the problem is. And hypervigilance is very expensive. And I'll tell you where it's most costly and how to tell right away if you have it. It's when you stop work, whenever the workday ends. It doesn't matter what the time is. If it's 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night, when the workday ends, how long does it take for you to shift back into normal life? How long does it take for you to notice the people around you? How long does it take for your emotional awareness to kick in, for that tightness in your chest to leave, for you to stop catching your breath, holding your breath in? When does that start to dissolve for you? Because the longer it takes for you to just mellow out, that's definitely a sign that you're operating or a state of hypervigilance and constant scanning. The other thing that's costly about it is strays aren't very inspiring. They're not, no one follows a stray as a leader. If you do, it's because if another animal follows it because they're a stray too. And it's not really following from inspiration. It's like brute force and physical intensity hierarchy type thing. So it's not really possible to be a strong leader in this state because you lack the ability to demonstrate confidence and a sense of calm for your people. If you are showing through your activity, mindset, sense of being that things are kind of unsafe and you're really not sure and you're always looking for the problems, that's going to be part of the culture for sure. And humans, the other place it shows up generally in relationships, right? That's when you wind down from your day. That's going to show up in your personal relationships. The other place it shows up is most business owners are super, super nervous about the retention of their team, right? How do I know this person's not going to jump ship? How do I know they're not going to learn everything and start their own company? This is my best person. If they leave, I have to do their job. They're my COO. I have to do all the operations work plus my CEO position if they're gone, and I have to find someone who's qualified enough to replace them. And so a lot of the hyper awareness and hypervigilance centers around, can I keep my people? Are my packages strong enough in terms of benefits and compensation? Will they be okay with me dropping this bonus? Will they be okay with me changing the bonus? One function that humans generally aren't great at is being glue. Like if you are the linchpin that holds the team together, then number one, there's not a system around it, which means that it's all running in your mind. It's all just tabs open, and you're constantly playing relationship manager. That's definitely exhausting. Like that is exactly what I'm talking about when you will have burnout as a constant companion because you're just scanning endlessly the relationships you have, why they're important, how the pieces fit together, and how to make sure it doesn't all fall apart. And relationships change all the time. People's situations change all the time. So if there's not frameworks for it, if there's not clarity around people's motivators, if there isn't ways that a business owner can feel like, yes, I invested in this relationship, and I can say with confidence that our loyalty in this relationship is here at a certain level, a height of comfort for me, then it's just constant scrambling. It's just constant reassessing. And there are definitely ways to go about it that make it systematized, make it predictable. And I won't say it's a long-term project to start to unwind and untangle the sense of hyper-awareness, but it is a feedback loop that I have to work with clients to say, what is the thought around either identity that we're having or belief system? And then how do we go into reality and find if that's accurate or not, or if we're projecting something there that isn't real. And then we want to reconcile to reality and let go of that belief that isn't real and also isn't serving. If you have questions about this or want to just chat about it in general, my handle on all platforms is The Difference Engine. Feel free to DM me with questions. Hope you have a great week.